just going to get straight to questions, Chief.
Do you expect that from Big Z?
No, not at all. I don't think anyone expected that, but it's probably just an eruption of what all he's been through in terms of being patient, obviously having some stick-to-itiveness to go through this whole process he's been through, and then just to finally have the opportunity to get out on the floor was just probably an eruption of that. And he made some shots, and you know, after that it was kind of like shooting in an ocean. So it's good for him, happy for him, really happy for him. He finally got the chance to put the uniform on and not actually just go through warm-ups. He actually got an opportunity to get out there and play, so happy for him.
What was the benches? We could see the players, but the guys on the bench, what was their reaction to him coming?
The same thing. I mean, they share his, you know, they obviously sympathetic to what all he's been through, and our team is really tight-knit. They care about each other, and so to see him do that, they went crazy. And the more importantly, the two that probably was more excited, mostly excited for him was Ugo and Aaron. So that shows you what we have in our locker room.
We knew he could shoot three, but did he have the green light before he took that first one?
No, I think all that just happened throughout the course of the game. None of that was planned for him to shoot threes. Like, you know, we have a team, and I know you guys have heard it ad nauseum, Coach, say that guys that all can dribble, pass, and shoot. Aaron can shoot threes. He can shoot threes. I mean, it's like, but we got enough three-point shooters, you know. We're one of the top 5 in the country in three-point shooting percentages, so we don't necessarily need another person shooting threes. It just so happened that that was where he was at on the floor, and the ball found him, and he was wide open. They didn't know, you know, they didn't have a scout report on him. You know, no one does, and now, you know, so he was just kind of like in the right place at the right time. He was open. They didn't guard him. They didn't know him, and then that wide open. Most college players can make a shot. It's like horse, right? So he had some horse shots, and he made them.
Speaking of Ugo and Aaron, now that you guys have all 3 7-footers healthy and worked into the rotation, what does that rotation kind of look like going forward?
We'll figure it out. Coach Kyle will figure it out, because you got to think about it. We've essentially coached 5 different teams this season already, right? We coached one team that was without Ugo and Aaron, right? And we were playing Trey at the 5, and that was with Adu at that time. Then the second team we had to coach, of course, is now you implement Aaron, and that's a totally different thing. You got to figure out how to play with him, and so on and so forth. And then having Adu out, that's a different team. Now that we implement Aaron, and then now that you have no Adu, you implement Z, that's 4 or 5 teams. And now we're going to possibly bring back Adu. That's another team. So Coach has done an unbelievable job of, you know, with the moving pieces, who's in, who's out, and figuring it out. And so he's the best at it for a reason, so he'll figure it out.
There's only one game, but what do you like about having Big Z out there with one of Aaron and Ugo kind of on both sides of the floor?
Hopefully it gives us some shot blocking. It makes us a better rebounding team. And our guys are skilled. So in terms of offensively, it's just about moving the pieces around and making sure we have the pieces set on the table where we want them at. But it should help us better defensively in terms of rim protection. The fact that Z and Aaron are good shooters, it should keep the floor space. It should keep the fluidity of what we're trying to do in terms of just play random. I don't think that will stop any of that. But I think having them is a good problem to have. I mean, we like this group. They like each other. So we'll continue to grow. We'll continue to figure different things out. Again, this is another team. So it's going to take a little time for us to completely figure all of this stuff out. And then if we get the chance to add Adu, then he's been really good for us at the beginning of the season when he was playing. So we got to figure those things out.
South Carolina had a nice win over the weekend. What can you tell us about this matchup?
They're playing good right now. At 3-2 in our league, I think they have a lot of confidence. Like winning produces confidence, and the fact that they're winning, they have a lot of confidence. They're playing well. They don't beat themselves. They are 347th, I think, in pace of play. So, this is like a boxing match. A clash of two different styles. We want to play ultra fast. I won't say that they want to walk it up at a snail's pace, but they want to milk the clock a little bit and probably get a shot attempt up into lower half of the shot clock, and we want to score in the first 7 seconds of the shot clock. So I think we have to get the game in our pace, and I'm going to give you one of my terminologies: keep the irrelevant guys irrelevant, and make sure that we do a good job of their two main guys, which is BJ Mack and Michi. We got to do a good job on those two.
Now that you guys have been through a couple road battles this season, just where do you feel like the team is at in terms of coming into a hostile environment?
We're still getting better at that. A lot of our guys don't have a lot of experience of what it is like to play on the road in a Kentucky uniform. It's a little different from any other game on the road. When Kentucky comes in town, there's just like a little bit of different energy. Most of the time there's some type of event, some type of T-shirt, pom-poms, hats, hot dogs, There's an event, so our guys are getting used to that. Not there yet. This is a big week for us because we got 2 back-to-back on the road, so we got to be road warriors, and what we like to say, go and get some roadkill.
I guess going off that, any extra emphasis or things you're working on with the guys to get them comfortable for, as you mentioned, a big week with 2 rotations?
Coach does a good job of putting them in the right mind space. We talk about it. If it wasn't post-COVID and probably so cold all over the country, tent city, we like to let them see that so they can understand what we're in for in terms of going on the road and people sleeping out in tents and, to watch the Kentucky game. But, it's a big game for a reason. Most of the time it's a big game because we're a part of it.
Back to Z for a minute, what's next for him? What does he need to work on?
I mean, he's got to work on a lot. He hasn't played. He only played 1 game. He doesn't really completely understand what we're doing. So he's got a lot to catch up to quick. But Z is a very high intelligent basketball player. So we don't think that it'll be a slow process in terms of him learning what we do, what we're doing, what we're trying to get accomplished offensively and defensively. We think that he'll be able to pick it up really rather quickly. But he's got a lot to learn. But he's been in our practices, so he's not that far off. Now it's just a little different when you're available and you're going in. So you got to be attentive to the scout and be assignment sound and understand what we want to do and ball screens and things of that nature. But he'll be fine.
Trey had a really good game. How much does having all 3 of those guys open up things for him to shoot the ball more?
I'm not sure if that affects Trey. We just want Trey to be more aggressive offensively, and when he does that, we're a better team. We all want for Trey to take his opportunities, but Trey is unselfish. He likes to pass and celebrate others, and we're on him about sometimes you got to know when to be selfish. And so he's going to pick his spots. Trey is a veteran. He understands the game at a high level. He knows when to pick his spots, when not to pick his spots. He knows when guys need picked up. He knows when he needs to try and get someone else's shot. He's like a point forward for us. We kind of run a lot of offense through Trey. So he has the ability to either shoot it, score it, get somebody else involved. He's like a traffic cop out there. I don't know if you see him telling guys when to cut, when to go through, do this, do that. He's our other primary, or I could say secondary ball handler. So we trust Trey a lot.
Kind of to piggyback off that, I don't know if this was asked already, but Trey's been playing well. Obviously, Big Z had a huge night, but a guy that's really been ascending these last couple games is DJ Wagner. Maybe struggled, some people might say, in the beginning of the season. Talk a little bit about his game the last couple of weeks.
DJ is DJ Wagner. He's I mean, say struggled, I don't know, because he didn't play up to his level in the Kansas game. Everybody thinks he struggled. We never doubted DJ Wagner. I would say in the last 8 games, he's probably playing better than any guard in the country, and consistently. It's a long season, you know. It's a long season. I think there was him getting familiar with everybody, when to pick his spots, how to get everybody involved, and still set the table, feed everybody, and then obviously take a plate for myself and eat. I mean, I think he had to kind of go through that a little bit, and probably the toughest kid on our team from a mental standpoint. Very strong-minded. We never doubted would he ever catch a groove and get in a rhythm in terms of him playing at a high level and being a good basketball player for us, because his mind is in the right place. Most of the time when your mind is right, your game is right. He's got the right spirit, so we wasn't concerned about him being a good basketball player for us, and obviously not playing up to whoever those naysayers' capabilities are, but for what our team needs. He's all about that. So
now with him, you know, playing as most people expected, Trey playing well, Antonio playing well, just everyone playing well. A lot of people, maybe in the media, have been saying that you guys have the highest ceiling in the country. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure always with Kentucky, but based on maybe some of the teams in the last couple of years, there may be added pressure knowing that this might be one of the best teams Coach Cal might ever have.
if there's added pressure playing at Kentucky and coaching at Kentucky, wow. Added pressure? Like, I don't know if there's added pressure. It is what it is. Like, we like our team, man. We got a long way to go. We obviously can get better in a lot of different areas. We're not at our peak right now. We don't want to be at our peak right now. We understand the process. I guess, you know, people are going to say the ceiling. People are going to talk about, obviously, the individual parts of this team. And we like the collective of our team, but what goes on in our locker room and stuff that we say in our locker room, what we think we can do with this team, we'll just keep it there as a bulletin board for us to continue to strive for something great.
DJ's obviously an example of many freshmen who have helped power this team to be so efficient offensively. What do you think that says about the continued, you know, development that you guys have at Kentucky, that so many young players can come in here right away and help make you guys one of the best teams in the country?
The work, you know, we got guys that there's a underlining competition of who's in the gym and who's in the gym the most, who's putting up the most shots and who's working on their craft the most. As they continue to get better, obviously our team gets better. So I think Coach Cal has always been about that. Like, as you as an individual continue to get better and grow in your game, then that obviously bleeds into the success of our team. So that's why there was never a doubt in our minds about DJ, because we see the work that he puts in, the constant work that he puts in. We see where he at in between the years. And again, when those things connect, it's like it'll eventually happen. And, you know, he's in a good space right now, and of course he still can grow and he still can get better, and that's the fun part about this, right? Like, the fun part about all of this in terms of this team, we probably can, you know, get a little better and do something. Who knows, you know?
You're obviously on the road recruiting a lot. I mean, how much does that message of coming to Kentucky, having to earn your spot, earn your playing time, still resonate with kids out there and make it an appealing destination?
That's just been how it's been here, and that's been Coach Cal's message. You know, nothing is given, everything is earned. You got to obviously come take what you want, and we're transparent with that throughout the, you know, recruiting process. I was transparent with that with Rob. I was transparent with that with DJ. And, of course, those messages come from Coach Cal. And when I'm out recruiting those guys, I deliver those messages. And so I delivered those messages to DJ, and I delivered that message to Rob. And those guys understood it, and they were all in. And so once you know, get guys locked in and they're all in and they understand the assignment, right, it makes it easier.
What was kind of the issues there in the last 8 minutes against Georgia where that lead dipped down under double digits? What did you all see on film that kind of went wrong?
Got a little loose, you know, instead of keeping our foot on the neck, so to speak, or keeping our foot on the gas, and we got a little loose at the end, and we can't do that. Obviously, we had some unquestionable turnovers, and then those guys were still fighting. So we can't do that. You know, we got to be better at closing the game out and closing teams out when we got them down with the league, and keeping them down and not giving them breathing room to get back into the game. And so, again, like I said, we're not where we need to be right now. We like our team. We have a good group of guys in our locker room, and continuing to get better and continuing to have those things to get better at is what drives us. And so we're having fun with this, man. And, you know, we're not where we need to be right now. We got some things we need to get better at defensively, some things we need to get better at offensively, and finishing games is a big part of it.
To piggyback off that, kind of, you know, laying back, is that something you've maybe seen from these guys before? You talked about, you know, DJ and some other guys who are real sharp in between the ears, and have kind of that killer mentality. So is this just maybe a one-off thing? Because, you know,
It's just a one-off thing. This is won't be anything consistent. I think that was a one-off thing. There was you know, having Z back, there was a big celebration. There was a big high, and then, you know, we kind of let our foot off the gas a little bit and kind of got a little loose. And you can't get loose at the end of the game. You got to finish the game off. Like Georgia's a good team. They're playing really good basketball, and so we understood that, and so that's why we were tentative to do what we did to make sure we take care of business early, and not give them any hope. But then obviously at the end of the game, you saw us get a little lackadaisical. We got a little loose, and we can't do that.